Hey guys, my name is Wilson, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how I made more than $10,000 in my first month of selling on Amazon through Amazon FBA. Now, to be more precise, we're talking about $10,107.80. So that's my first month of record, and that's my first month of selling on Amazon, which is pretty cool, I would say, because I never really believed that it would work. But nonetheless, in my previous video, I've been sharing with you guys about why I quit my 7-figure business and jumping into Amazon and jumping into this whole ecom world. I have friends that are making 20, 30, 40, 50 different $1 million of revenue every single year. And you know, they've been telling me and urging me into jumping into this business for the past couple of years. So now I'm finally in. 10K is really not that close to their 20, 30 million dollars, but at least it's my first step, and it really validates that this stuff actually works. And the reason why I'm doing this documentation is so then it's actually more for myself, because I love documenting my progress. And looking back in this video after a year is so much of memories, because you are able to see where you were before and the knowledge that you have gained throughout the years and all the tough battles. So for me, it's much more of a journal for myself. And on top of that, hopefully this also acts as a motivation and inspiration for you to take action, and that I'm going to share with you the mistakes that I've been making, so then hopefully you can avoid making the same mistakes. So when did this whole thing start? It actually started in 2016 of September. I remember creating this Amazon business with my girlfriend because I just wanted to have something to keep her occupied, because she was really not doing much. She loved her 9 to 5. She comes home, she watches Kim Kardashian, and it really bothers the fuck out of me because she's not really working on anything, and it's just like, oh my god, like really do something productive. And that was when I'm like, you know what, let's create an Amazon business for you. Instead of telling her to go to yoga and everything, I'm like, yo, let's create a business. Yeah, so anyways, we went back and forth. For me, it was just more so to create something for her and with her, and she chose her first product to be the Lumi case, which is by Kim Kardashian. And at that time, she really think that this product was going to be a hit. I shared a lot more in depth about this whole journey in my podcast, Actualize Freedom, so definitely check the link below. So basically we ran it for a month or so. She and I, we both kind of, when we first sold this product, it was only selling like 1 or 2 a day, and really wasn't that exciting. So within, I would say, a month, both our interests just kind of slowly faded away, and I was really focused on building my other businesses. And for her, she was just focused on her 9 to 5 and just going home and just chilling. So we just left this in the back burner and never really touched it, never really logged into the account until July of 2017. That was when I first started to be like, okay, you know what, my businesses are plateauing, let's think of something else, let's think of another industry to be in. And now I remember that ecom has true potential, and that's the reason why I'm like, okay, let's check our account again. And then when we went into the account, we realized that one of the SKUs, we actually sold this in rose gold and black. One of the SKUs was actually deactivated accidentally, and so we actually had another 200 of these cases. And at the same time, Apple is coming out with their iPhone X and their newest iPhone, so these cases were only suitable for iPhone 6. So what that means is that these cases would be obsolete when the new iPhone comes out, and so we just basically quickly liquidated everything. After liquidating everything, I spent another 2 months listening to different podcasts and different influencers that are in this business. So we're talking about Kevin David's material, Scott Volker, the Amazing Sellers material, Ben Cummings, product selection methods, and all of which were really good. And it really provided me with a lot more insight into how this whole business works. Now, obviously for us, if we want to be able to excel, we need to take action. So in August of 2017, after we liquidated everything, that was when we decided to reach out to suppliers and to take action. Because I know that products usually take around 30 days for production in China and 30 days to ship. So what that means is that minimum we need 2 months from the moment that the suppliers receive their money to when the product actually arrives in Amazon. And my goal was to have the product listed for Black Friday and over the holidays. So for us, we reverse engineering the whole thing and set the timeline that we needed to order our first product by early October. And speaking of which, I'm like super lucky because I've been dealing with China suppliers for the past couple of years, importing, exporting, and doing trading with my other businesses. So I have a list of questions that I send them through to maximize efficiency. And so let me grab this. Okay, so basically I would send them a list of questions, and it's very, very important that we send them a batch of questions all at the same time, because it is so difficult to deal with them with the time zone difference. If you ask a question today and you have to wait until the next day before you get an answer, and once you get the answer, now you send another clarification. So that is already 3 days of lag time that you're talking about, just so then from the moment you have a question to the moment you have an answer. So for you, if you really want to be able to maximize your efficiency, definitely send them a batch of questions all at the same time. And so this is the batch of question that I usually like to send out. What is the MOQ, packaging, the cost of the sample, time of delivery, some of the logistics, and everything. So this is basically what I send out to all the suppliers. And once I'm able to get the suppliers pinned down to the first 1 or 2 that I like, I would send them follow-up questions with like the logistic questions, time of arrival from point A to point B, how much deposit we need to pay, and really just hash things out all at once. And this has proven to be like magical for me because it just saves so much more time. And one little secret that I personally use is that I like sending them these questions in Chinese. It's interesting because it really sets the right tone, I personally believe, because the suppliers, they are so used to negotiation that a lot of times they set the prices quite high. And if they suddenly see someone asking a quote in Chinese, they would know that, oh, okay, I'm speaking this to the same type of people that I shouldn't. And these guys probably would know the pricing a little bit more than you would say Caucasian people. So for me, although I don't write Chinese, I created a list of questions in Chinese and I send it in Chinese, so then that way they would know not to screw around with me and whatnot. But still, I would reply in English afterwards, and I would use Google Translate and everything. But yeah, if you guys want a list of questions and the questions that I ask, definitely check in with the description below and leave us a comment, and so then that way I can send it to you guys. It's something that is super powerful for me. I personally really just rely on this for everything that I order, so which is really, really good. My first list of questions is August 25th, and basically just a batch of questions, and this batch really allows me to save a lot more time, like I was saying, and sets the right tone. So basically I went back and forth with the supplier and got all the answers, and I created an Excel list where I put all the questions and all the answers in there, so then that way it keeps everything organized before I'm able to finalize on a supplier. Mid-September rolled in, I ordered a bunch of samples and I checked out everything, and actually what I did was I went on my competitors' listing and looked at all their 1-star and 2-star reviews, looked at what was wrong with their product, and really followed what people were teaching us, right? They were telling us to, how can we improve the product? How can we differentiate the product? Whether it be packaging, whether it be different features within the products. And I found that there was a common theme of problem that is arising from the top sellers for my products. And for me, I was able to easily just change the fabric because people were complaining about that the product was too hot. So basically I just changed the fabric to something that was much more cooling, and on top of that I just added some random features in there and sent it back to the suppliers. They were able to do it. So yeah, basically I redesigned the packaging. I also created a coupon card that I put it into the package as well, so people can leave us reviews and feedback and everything. So if you want to have a chance to look at that, definitely leave us a comment below, and then that way I can send it your way. Yeah, so originally I split the shipment in 20% and 80%. 20% was shipping by air into Canada, so then that way I can quality check it before I send it to the Amazon FBA fulfillment centers. And then the 80% would be by ship, so by the time that I figured that by the time that the ones that the 20% that is on air sells out, I would be able to have the 80% via ship. The cost is around $1,000 for shipping through air, the same as shipping through ship as well. So it works out to be decent pricing for me, I guess. And during that time I had to travel to Asia, Japan, Hong Kong with my girlfriend as well. So I had them actually sent to my Airbnb in Japan, so then I can actually quality control it instead of shipping it to Canada. And at the end of the day, I actually didn't even send it to Canada because of the timing difference and the time crunch, because I want it by Christmas time, right? So then that way, after they sent it to my Japan Airbnb, I actually reviewed the packages, I reviewed the packaging and everything, and I thought that it was okay, and boom, I told them, switch the order up, told them to send it straight to the fulfillment center. So the product arrived at Amazon on November 26th, which is when it first arrived. So then the product was live on December the 3rd, and we were super stoked because we actually got it in time for the holidays, and we were like, yes, let's go kill it, Wilson, let's go kill it. You know, we ran with it for a week and grabbed some reviews from my friends, sent it to a few people, and got my first 5 reviews, and super stoked to be able to run PPC campaign with it. And this was around December 10th, and when at that time we were like, oh my god, that's freaking amazing, let's turn on PPC campaign. And then at that time I realized that I can't turn it on because my account profile was not verified or some kind of crap like that, and they needed us to send the bank statements to verify. We send it through, and this was like early December, so then we're thinking, hey, you know what, we can actually make it for Christmas time. Freaking awesome. We waited, and as we waited, we're like, damn it, more and more of the same product listing is popping up, and we have been just all of a sudden became in doubt with the fact that, are we going to be missing Q4? Are we missing out on this? And is this the right product choice? And we started to feel that this is the worst product that we can purchase and sell online, because the more research that we're doing into it, it doesn't fulfill any of the criteria, and we're like, oh my god, this is shitty. We have 800 of these units in stock, we're about to miss Q4, and we're in the worst industry ever. And so at that time, when December 24th rolled around, we're like, man, this sucks, let's just give up, this shit doesn't work. And then at that time I'm just like, you know what, let's just forget about this whole thing, have a good holiday. The office was off work for a whole week, actually 2 weeks, so I'm like, you know what, fuck it, let's just have a good holidays and just enjoy the time with my friends and family. And pretty much we pretty much gave up, I would say, during the holiday times. So yeah, my account actually didn't get verified until December the 27th. And then officially we sold like 10 units on the first month, and 8 of them we gave up for free for the review. So we're like, oh my goodness, this is horrible. So anyways, January 2nd, 2018 is when we're like back to work, and we're like, yo, let's get back into this, let's try it out, let's give it a fair chance. of working before we say whether this business actually works. So now that our account is in proper order, the listings are optimized, we can officially run our PPC campaign. January the 2nd was when we first ran our PPC campaign. So that was definitely a nice kind of refresh to our whole campaign and to our whole strategy. And yeah, so basically we ran our PPC campaign. We basically tested out different keywords, from long tail to different phrases to broad keywords. We tested out the auto campaigns and checked out our competitors to see what kind of keywords they were using, and we just kept our head down and just kept on tweaking it day in, day out. In the first few days we're talking about like 3 to 4 different sales, and we're like, oh my goodness, does this actually work? But we're like, you know what, let's just give it a month. And as the days went by, we're getting 3 sales, 4 sales, 5 sales, 6 sales, and slowly climbed there, and our PPC campaign started to work. As we put in more effort to tweak these PPC campaigns, we're starting to see the results, which is really, really cool, because we're like, oh my god, we're actually selling now. A few days ago, we officially hit our 10K in sales. 10K in sales on February the 8th, 2018. So we're super stoked that we're able to hit the 10K in sales. Super amazing, super awesome. Thank you, Josh, our team, in bringing our revenue to more than 10K a month. This is our first official month of running a PPC campaign, actually executing what we have learned throughout the months, and we're like, damn it, this thing actually works. Freaking crazy. And what was really, really cool was that days before we hit our 10K mark, we actually got one of these buttons, Amazon's Choice, which is so cool. I don't know what it does, but at the end of the day, it's so cool to, run a business or run a product for less than a month to get the Amazon's Choice tab. I personally think it is super cool. Now we're actually on first page of our keyword that we're ranking for, on the first page of it, and we're just super stoked. Yeah, so that's kind of how our journey has been. Now currently we're in this very sticky situation where we're about to run out of stock. China is having their holidays and our supplier is already long gone. Our stock will run out within the next 10 days if we continue to run our PPC campaign, and that means that it's going to leave us a month and a half without stock. The soonest that we can get our stock is on April the 1st, because that's when they come back to work. That's when they can ship everything out, and April 1st is as soon as it's going to arrive in our Amazon warehouse. We can either let our stock run out in a bang and just let our listing rot for the month and a half, or we can turn off the PPC campaign and let the organic sales roll in and trickle in, and hopefully have an overlap with the next shipment. Now, that's a completely different story, and that's something that we've been trying to figure out what works better. If you guys have a solution and advice, definitely leave it in the comment below what works better for you guys. And yeah, so this has been a crazy journey when we were about to give up on this product, but nonetheless, it's actually selling. 10K a month is pretty cool. And now that we turned it off, we're still getting like 10 sales a day. Just super excited about what's going to happen in the next year when we put more resources. Currently we're working on 1 SKU, and at the end of the year we're hoping to have at least 6 different SKUs and to run it into $1 million business. So we will definitely share this with you guys throughout this whole journey. And if you have any questions or advice or feedback, please leave it in the comments below. We'd love to see what kind of advice you can give us and share some of your experience. If you like this video, or if you need any resources that I mentioned below, feel free to leave us a comment below as well. And if you appreciate our honesty and our transparency and would love to follow throughout the journey of how we're going to scale to a 7-figure business from scratch, definitely subscribe and follow through with this journey. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.